Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of the SquadCast. We're back after
Yay!
2 months of being
Woo-hoo.
away because we took a hiatus along with the manga, not related to the manga's hiatus. We just were all busy in April, so it fell on a good time to take a break. So yeah, now we're back, and we are going to be discussing chapter. Not 100. We're discussing chapter 99B or 99.5. It is, it's Beyond the Snow Part 8B is the name of the chapter. So, yes.
I'm really drawing that one out.
Yep. Yeah. And, just want to get some quick announcements out of the way first. First of all, we have hit 50 subscribers on YouTube, so thank you so much for everyone who has subscribed to our channel. It's really mean a lot to us, and especially because this community is, like, super, super small. So, I mean, 50 is a pretty big milestone. For the Blue Exorcist fandom, I think. I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate all the support. And yeah, I think that's the only thing I wanted to announce. But if I could think of the other, I'm blanking on whatever else I was supposed to say. So hopefully by the end of the podcast, I'll remember. Anyway, I am here. Me as in Matea. I am here today with all returning guests. So we have Grace, who has been on every episode of On the SquadCast so far. So say hi. Grace?
Yeah, sorry.
Hey.
That's okay. And we have returning Seuss, who was supposed to be on the last episode, but he got sick, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry about it.
Yeah. We have Serena.
Yo.
And we have Tay, who hasn't really been on in a while, so yay!
Yeah, college is like that sometimes.
So welcome back, Tay. So yes.
Hi, thank you.
Okay. Alright, so now it is time to talk about the new chapter. I'm going to do, like usual, a brief summary of the chapter, and then we will discuss our thoughts. So in this chapter, basically, let's try and be as brief as possible because there's so much to talk about. So Shiemi, it leaves off where it left off last time with Shiemi and Izumo, and I think it's in the abandoned dorms, I think. Basically,
yeah.
Shiemi realizes she likes Rin. Because Izumo was like, you like Rin? And then she's like, yeah, I do, and it's too late. And then Izumo's like, what do you mean it's too late? And then she's like, oops. I was supposed to say that. And now Izumo is obviously catching on to the fact that, it's due to Shiemi's secret. So it's like, tell me, she's like, tell me the truth. And then the Grigori comes and takes away Shiemi, and apparently she knows why they're here. So, except Izumo doesn't know why they're here, and now she's all alone again. Bon is, meets with, Arthur to, I guess, prove that Lightning is innocent. And, Yukio, wait, what happened first? Was it the Yukio thing, or was it I'm trying to remember.
There's a lot that goes on.
Okay, so Yukio wakes up in the Illuminati and meets Agen, who is apparently a small boy wearing a shark costume.
Agen, oh, it's the twin, he's a twin to Katy Perry's Dancing Shark.
Honestly.
Oh my god, right? You know, as Mephisto is watching the world in chaos, as he usually does, he doesn't do anything. Maimon, comes in and is like, why didn't you tell me about her? And Mephisto's like, Shiemi Moriyama, you mean? I'm surprised you didn't figure it out by now. And he's like, I hate you! and then Newhouse comes in, and he's like, crap, what's
It's complete!
It's complete! And then Ren goes into the past, and that's it.
Yeah, it took Ren a whole 2 months to walk through a door.
Yeah, it took two months for Ren to walk through that door. And if the next chapter is not called A Ren to the Past, I'm gonna be very upset. If anyone got that reference, I'll be very happy. Yeah. Anyway, so overall thoughts of the chapter, starting with let's start with Tay, since she hasn't been here in a while.
I mean, I'm personally biased for Shiemi, so like, I was really glad that I could actually like say, oh yeah, she is tied to the Grigori, because I had a hunch for that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But then like, I feel like with all the other characters, it was like she was the only kind of character that had like stuff actually happen. Everyone else was just like saying stuff and sort of standing still. Yukio a little bit, but you know. But I'm satisfied anyways, because like I said, biased for Shiemi, so I'm having a good time.
Yep. Everyone else?
Oh, okay, so I'll go. I'm just like, I'm really freaking out about Shiemi right now, because it's like, she did say that she wasn't gonna die and all, but like, when she says, "Oh, it's too late," I'm like, how am I supposed to feel like about that? You know, like, are you you might as well be dying, like, and it scares me. I'm like,
I know, right?
I mean, I doubt, yeah, like, I doubt that Kato would do that. I don't know. She likes to pull our hearts a lot, but, but
like, it's like the same thing as like,
yeah, it's like, yeah, it's just. It's like, no matter what I expect, I know she's gonna like twist something, and it's like hard to tell. And that's why it's like I'm like on the edge right now when it comes to Shiemi.
Yeah.
I've been on the edge with Rin. It only took him like, I don't know, 4 months to open a door. So like,
we're just gonna keep making that joke, aren't we?
Yeah. So yeah, we've been waiting forever.
Even before he started burning like a beautiful man.
Oh, I know. We've been waiting for years. So I'm like, you know, I'm so used to that. And now, like, Shiemi, they're like, I think we're going to get information about Shiemi when he enters the door. So,
yep. So let's place our predictions on what's going to happen and what we're going to find out about Shiemi and those Grigori people that took her.
Shiemi is going to be a freaking goddess. That's what she is.
Yeah.
She already is a goddess, let's be real.
Probably non-human in some way, because like, who isn't non-human in the story?
Yeah.
Definitely not human.
Well,
yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure that she
God damn it, Car!
was that she came down from the heavens. Like, she's actual, like an actual, what can I say, like an angel, more or less. So you could say that she could be like a celestial.
Maybe.
I
mean, it makes sense.
Because we don't know her father. We don't know her father, and we don't know the backstory of her father. And her mother could be the human side of her, but her father could be so much more different.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, yeah, well, so for, this is something that we discussed, like, maybe 2 podcasts ago, where, like, Shiemi is kind of, like, the opposite of Rin in a way. Like, Rin is, like, the son of Satan, but Shiemi might be, like, a goddess or something like that.
Kind of be the opposite element.
Yeah.
Yeah. Percy Jackson or something.
Yeah.
Makes me think of Percy Jackson, actually.
Yeah, I can see why you would think that.
Kind of got the Hades and Persephone thing going on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I think that's what we discussed like
Mm-hmm.
a
I
few
remember that
episodes ago.
too.
Yeah.
It's just being confirmed now,
Yeah.
like slowly but surely.
Yeah. So like, this chapter was super Shammy centric. So yeah, I do think like maybe because I guess she has like some sort of duty that she needs to fulfill or something like that because of well, we don't know who she is or what she is yet, but it seems like
she feels pretty obligated.
Yeah, because
I feel like
yeah, go ahead.
I feel like it's more of like you were saying Percy Jackson, and I was thinking of Supernatural for some odd reason. If you guys have watched Supernatural.
I haven't.
Kinda.
Only the early seasons, unfortunately.
There's a character where okay, actually we're not gonna discuss the character. The thing is with the whole Sam and Dean thing. Dean apparently Sam is this got the whole I'm gonna be the next Satan kind of thing, while Dean's gonna be the next angel. So, but their personalities are like complete opposites. Where Sam is like the one that is like looks like he's the innocent one, while Dean doesn't look innocent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Rin isn't trying to be like sane in a way. He just like yeah. Unfortunately, in this right now, he's you know, I guess more close to sane than he should be. So, but it's not it's not anything that he willingly signed up for. So, like, you know.
Well,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that in the next chapter, it won't focus on Shumi. It's more or less it's going to be like, oh, holy crap, Mom, how are you doing?
Yeah. Like, hey, Mom.
I feel like those people like pop up at the very least because I know that Kato does take her time with things.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I was getting that feeling too.
I will see.
I was making that joke on Twitter with the Grigori guy, like, because it's like, we've come to take you, and you know, Shammy's like, who are you? And it's like, and I was joking, like, it's gonna take 10 chapters to find out who this guy is.
Yeah, it is. This is like a year for us.
Never forget, I forgot what her first name was, but the Toto lady in the Illuminati.
Yeah.
That took so long.
I know.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah, it's like, and the Shiami's whole plot seems to be tying back in with Rin and Yukio, so it's I had a feeling Kato was going to do that, where she's intertwining all their plots together into all their arcs falling in at the same time. I had that feeling since they're the main trio.
Yeah.
And then it happened, and I'm like, yes, this is all I've wanted.
Everybody's so hyped over Shami and Rin and Yukio intertwining, and I'm just here like, I need some Izumo, I need some Bond.
Yeah, I feel bad. Izumo's just like,
do you know what we need?
What?
We need Konokomaru. Like, when are we gonna get stuff about it?
Yeah. We just
Poor boy.
Well,
we just kind of just left. Bye.
We went to Kyoto to fix the Kurikara.
Yeah.
Like,
he hasn't had his arc yet, you know? I love him.
Yeah, he's had
needs
like 1% of it.
I know.
That's true.
He has had development, but he hasn't had his own arc, which I think he needs it.
He does.
Imagine major plot twist. It's not going to focus on Rin, and we're going to be trolled, and it's going to be Konekomaru.
Boy. Yeah.
And they're like, hey, I'm going back to my hometown. I'm gonna be like, hey, let's get this sword fixed.
Yeah. Okay, but like, so to go back to the Shiami topic because this is something that was super important in the chapter. Well, the way she reacted to them taking her, like, I guess she knew, somehow she knew that they were gonna come for her.
Yeah, like, she didn't even fight back. She was like, okay, like, she was prepared. She's like, okay, thank you for being nice. Tell everyone, like...
Yeah, please be nice to everyone for me.
Yeah, it's about like a really final goodbye.
Yeah, that's what it felt like, a final goodbye. And the fact that she said that it's too late to tell Rin about how she feels about him, it was kind of signaling to that.
I wonder how Rin's gonna feel when he finds out that Shiami's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not gonna handle that well.
Yeah.
He's gonna come back from whatever he's doing. He's like,
Someone's gonna probably like slap him or something. Be all like, "You need to go get your girl. You need to go get her. She loves you."
No, it'll be like Rin will come back from whatever he's doing, and then he'll be like, "Hey, where did Shimi go?" And he's just like, I don't know.
Plain is funny because she really doesn't know.
It'll be like, last time I heard, aliens came and took her away.
Oh god, if there were aliens introduced now, this would be... You know what, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either.
In reality...
She could be... Oh, go for it.
I was just gonna say, it's... With his reaction to being scared that she was gonna die and all that stuff, he's not gonna react well. You can pretty much tell that. He's gonna be freaking out because it's like, which one of his stupid scenarios he came up with was the truth in his head.
He's gonna find a way to save her, I think.
I think it's gonna be a mix of that and her saving herself. It's like, that was something I feel the big thing is, this feels like a final, she's sacrificing whatever she wants to do for what she has to do.
Yeah.
And I think the big thing is it's like, and that's why her realizing she's in love with Rin hurts so bad, because she's like, this of all times, after I've chosen to give up everything and go for my duty, what I have to do, it's like, of all times, this had to come up. And it's just like, and she wants this so bad, it's like something she wants, but she's not allowed to have.
Oh god, yeah.
Because there is... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, which it does kind of remind me of the Naruto the last movie. I don't know if people have watched that or not, but you know what I mean.
I've watched the last.
Yeah, it's giving me that kind of plot right there.
Yeah,
So, like,
I see what you're talking about.
It's like sayonara. I can word it. Sayonara.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, because I know people on the forum, it was kind of upsetting because I don't know if anyone saw it, but some people were like, "Oh, this confession's kind of forced," and this. And I'm like, no, like, it's not really for the sake of just like.
It took like a whole like 60 chapters. So
Yeah, like
When
was...
and plus, God, now it's making me think of Fairy Tail, when people thought that Gajil and Levy's relationship was forced, and we've had like over 200 chapters of explaining why they're a good couple.
Okay,
right?
But like, okay, but like, I was about to bring this up. Like, it took Shiami like since chapter 47, when, you know, the school festival arc happened, and, you know, that's when she started, like, I guess, kind of...
subconsciously realizing her feelings.
Yeah, and now it's almost chapter 100, so it took almost, like, I don't even know how many chapters there was in between that, because I can't math, but you know what? It's like, I know, like, it's just, how is this forced in any way possible? Like, it's been a slow burn this whole time.
It's been a real slow burn.
I get ship preferences. I totally respect everyone's preferences, but it's bullcrap to even try and say this is forced at all, or rushed or anything.
Yeah, which by the way,
not even together.
Yeah, which by the way, not everyone here is a Rinchi shipper, but Like, I mean, most of us are, but, like, a few people here don't ship Rinchi, but, like, it's like, you know, they can see that it's not forced in any way, even if they don't ship it.
Like, I could acknowledge that it's, like, for me, I personally don't ship it. Everyone knows that I'm an Izumo and Shami shipper, but, I can completely acknowledge and, like, respect, like, the development that Rain and Shami have gone through, like...
Yeah, and even if
it's one of the most, like... Yeah, go ahead.
Even if it turns out to be platonic in the end, which it might be, but, you know, in the direction that Kato is going in, it looks like they will be endgame by the end of the manga. They might not be canon by, in the next few chapters. I don't know, because I don't think they're going to be an official couple right away, because there's a lot of going on.
The point is they have feelings for each other.
Yeah, because I don't think there's anything that's going on. There's a lot going on that's preventing them from actually thinking about, like, dating and romance. Like, that's, like, the last thing on their minds right now.
That's exactly, because that's why the point that Grace brought up, when she said, like, why now of all times how she felt like it was like, why now of all times that am I suddenly realizing this where it's too late? And that's why she can't think about it, and that's what breaks her heart, is that she can't, like...
Yeah, because she knows that, like, whatever is happening with her is, you know, ultimately she won't be able to live the life that she wanted, because this other thing is preventing her secret is preventing her from actually being a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Now it's making me think of all those stories where it's all like, oh, some of these have happy endings, and then there's the others that don't have happy endings. And
I'm gonna cry.
Okay.
Like, what was it called? The series with the letter B or whatever? The letter Bs? I read it and I'm like, okay, I'm hoping that this comes with a happy ending, and then I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna go check what's the ending and see what the ending's all about, and then I'm like, oh, well, this kind of hurts my heart. I better just cry about it when I finish the manga and see. It just, there's those type of series that are like, oh, you expect that there's gonna be a happy ending, but there's not.
Yeah.
This makes me think back to the one shot that I can't remember what it's called, the mansion incident thing.
Oh yeah.
Even though Noctis and whatever the frick the girl
Monica.
that looks like Monica. Okay, them, it's like their feelings are definitely mutual, but they don't actually end up together. That's a little worrying for me.
I don't think it's gonna be like that.
I don't think it's gonna be like that. It's like. But at the same time, it's like you have that fear right there. It's like the feelings are gonna be mutual, but it's like...
Yeah. It's all like, no fear. And then you remember and you're like, one fear.
Right? It's me right now.
I want to point this out because I saw this on a forum. I'm not going to specify which forum it is because I don't want to dox anyone. But someone mentioned that Kato might not be the best at doing romance because of how Juzo and Mamashi have been handled, and Hachiro and everything. And I'm like, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but like those relationships are completely different and are like have completely different circumstances. Like, and first of all, those are all background relationships that have happened. Well, I wouldn't consider what Hachiro has done as like.
He's a villain, so like
no.
He's a villain.
Yeah, like okay.
Bad.
I don't think that was supposed to be a love story at all.
No, it's not.
It wasn't.
It was.
Yeah,
it was an
pretty sure that
it was just obsession. It was just obsession. And it's like you're talking about like background characters that have been in maybe you've gotten development. Because Kato does like to give some screen time to her background characters. But But you know, these are two characters that have been in the story since like chapter 1 for Rin, chapter 3 for Shammy, and like, you know, they're not like that at all. Like they have different personalities and whatnot. So just like, yeah, it's just like, I'm pretty sure Kato knows what she's doing. Is what I'm
if we're gonna do a comparison, a better comparison is looking at her one shots and look at where she did the romance with certain things there, because it's going off the main relationships for those. And there's like you have Astro Nerd and the Mansion Incident thing that I can't freaking pronounce the actual name of. It's like both of those are a good example. It's healthy, it's really cute, and it's like you can see where she's going when it's the main ship. So I don't see her as she does a good job when she wants to on romance. She doesn't focus on it a lot. It's like she doesn't shove it in your face, but it's there.
Yeah.
But she also does it. She's also not a chicken who puts it there and then decides, LOL, no, I'm not going to actually do this.
Yeah, I like the slow development, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
And you know what? The build-up is worth it because the moments that we do get for them are very, like, nice, and, you know, it feels like it's earned more than, like, forced. So.
It's very natural.
It is very natural.
I think a big part of that is the fact of how deep their friendship is first and foremost out of anything. It's like, it's not just, they didn't fall for each other just because they're a boy and a girl.
Well, you know, for Rin, I think it was love at first sight, but you know.
Yeah, but that's not the reason. They're not.
Boy.
The entire point of it isn't just because, it's main female, it's like, main male and female characters. It's like, it's like, I'm sure a lot of people think that. It's like, but their development, if you look at any other series, you can see the difference in how their development is versus a lot of stuff where it literally is just that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it sort of reminds me of like Brave Master, which is Mashima's one of his very first series, and it just give me like that sort of vibe right there. And then there's the other example of ones where they don't end up being together, like you know the series Kakaishi, right?
Doesn't ring a bell.
It's been a long time since I've heard about that show, but yeah.
Doesn't ring a bell for me.
Okay, so I read the manga twice for Kakaishi because I was really into it, and even though they had that specific feeling as brother and sister, but they also had that kind of feeling where they could be like in a romance feeling. They did not end up being with each other at the end of the series. And so it just gives that type of thing compared to the one where they build the relationship for Rave Master, and they do end up being with each other at the end.
Right.
Yep.
And I feel like it has like so much built up for it that like if she didn't go with it, it'd just be like, oh, okay. Like no matter what you do,
exactly.
She spent all that time, and they just gonna go, nope.
I think Kato has made it pretty obvious about.
Yeah, I don't feel like she would do that, but you know.
Nah, I don't think so either. She seems.
I would cry.
She seems very dedicated to not chickening out of it with them.
Yep.
Yeah.
If she didn't want it there, she would have just dropped the plot way earlier on.
Yep.
At this point, it's too far in it.
I mean, the only reason why Rin said that he wanted Shammy and him to be friends, it was just because he was being respectful of how, you know, how she was feeling, because he loves her. It's not because he was just angry at her for it. You know, he just wants to be respectful of what she wants, and he doesn't want to push her.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was done.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say that, and he did mention Yukio as well. Like he did say, like, he's like, I didn't want to fight with Yukio anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also an issue with Yukio because Yukio also has feelings for Shammy, but he's also just, you know, a bit of a mess right now. So.
Yukio.
He has feelings, but he has those type of feelings where they're not properly established with his broken emotional
Yeah.
With his everything.
Shiami's kind of an
Yeah.
emotional
With his
crutch.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Shiami's an emotional crutch for him.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
when it comes to Rin's feelings, just because he chose to stay friends with her, that didn't mean his feelings were gone. It's just he
Yeah.
cares
Yeah.
so much about her
Yeah, that's what I was
that
basically trying to say.
that regardless, he wants her in his life.
Yes.
He doesn't want. It's like just because it's like it's going to be hard for him to not express how he's feeling and everything. But it's like at the end of the day, he'd rather not lose her over unrequited feelings.
Yeah.
Which, as we know, are not are reciprocated and not unrequited. So,
Yep.
There could also be a meaning behind the fact that Shumi said it was too late. We know that she's a very dense character. Like she's brilliant in her own way, but she's pretty dense in the romance section.
I'd say unexperienced.
Yeah, so what if it's not like it's too late and she's gonna disappear? This is just a theory. But what if it could possibly be that she's like, oh no, it's too late. He doesn't like me anymore. I blew it.
I mean, I
as well.
don't. Well, okay. Here's the thing, though. As mentioned earlier, she does say, like, when Izumo asks her, "What's too late? What do you mean by that?" She's like, "Oops." Like, I think it is kind of related to.
And it was
Her
like the
secret.
timing of it, where
Yeah.
the Greek could come in. It's like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Shiami
I'm
accidentally said too much.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking the fact that she's saying it's too late is because she made her decision of what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah,
see what you mean.
Yeah, she
But-
was. Yeah.
But she could also be thinking like, oh my gosh, what if he doesn't like me anymore? But I've already made my decision. I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're. I definitely see where you're coming from.
Mhm.
mhm.
So
And that's a good-
there-
Yep.
That's a good interpretation of it too.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not saying you were wrong or anything. I was just saying, like, I think it's more along the lines of, it is relating to her secret. So,
I think
I
it's
wanna
really
know the
complex
secret.
and I think it's really complex and there's a lot of feelings she has going on,
mhm.
which
Yeah.
I love. I've always imagined when she figures out that she's in love with Rin, like finally admits it to herself that she'd cry. So the
Well,
way Kato did this
guess
scene
what?
in general, yeah.
a girl's in love.
Yep. Like, she's in love, and
She is.
Yep. And it's good to finally actually get an official love. Well, not. I guess I wouldn't say it's a confession because she's not directly confessing.
We've been new.
But it's more of it's more of an epiphany. It's more of an epiphany.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 So,
It's like, but it was perfect because it's like every single panel is like portrays Shiami's it's like what I'm trying to say, her crap. I cannot think of words right now. It is a perfect portrayal of how I envisioned this would happen. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's like, of
I
course, with Kato writing it, you can't expect any less than that.
I
But
think
it's just like exceeded expectations.
Yeah, like it's more of her like realizing, like I guess being provoked by someone to realize her own feelings rather than just like someone other than Rin, I should say actually. So before actually telling Rin how she feels. So
Yeah.
yeah. So actually on that note, so what do you think we will ever get? Well, obviously I think in the future we will get a she confesses how she feels to Rin scene, but would there be like any like kissing involved or anything physical like that, or just be like a verbal confession.
No, they're too goofy for that. Not not initially.
It'd be very awkward if that does happen. It'd be adorable.
Yeah.
But it'd be like the most awkward.
Yeah. I mean,
and I feel like something like that would happen at like the very end too.
Yeah.
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 Like a exposition thing or whatever, wrap up, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm reading the Wikia on the whole angels with the Blue Exorcist, and it's making a little more sense. It says true forms. An angel's true form takes various appearances depending on class. A human or demon who tries to look directly at their true form can be blinded or even die. That could explain the reason behind her memory loss.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Because it says Gabriel has admitted that at the attack on Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot's wife looked directly at his true form and turned into a pillar of salt as a result.
Ooh. Yeah.
So that
I'm losing my mind.
Mind blown.
That explains L a lot.
But yeah, I mean, this could explain why she was sheltered for so long by her mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it probably does, but you know.
I don't know. Her mom's been up and down. She went from I don't take care of my daughter, my mother takes care of her, to being overprotected.
Yeah, what made her suddenly start giving like a damn? I want to know.
Me too.
I want to know.
It was obviously after she almost died from, you know, if you remember back in, well, the very beginning.
The very beginning.
You know,
Yeah.
she almost dies from the, what was it? What was the decalfer? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was what it's called. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the demon was sapping her life away.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when she realized she was about to lose her own daughter, that's when she felt like, you know, I need to protect her from this world. So
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I definitely get that. It's like the only thing is, it's like, if she ever had this big old secret, it's like their family has this big old secret. Why wasn't she trying harder before? Her mom
I
confuses
don't know.
me.
Maybe because
Yeah,
maybe because she saw that she was getting closer with Rin, and I think at this point her mom knows that Rin is the son of Satan. So
Mm-hmm.
If she's involved with the Grigori, she probably does.
yeah.
Yeah, and also because Shammy used to be shy in general, so it's almost like as if she didn't have to worry about that because Shammy never really put herself out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like she ever exposed herself to any danger.
Yeah.
And then once she like said like I want to be an exorcist, that's when she was like, oh
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rin, for influencing all that.
Yeah, I mean, the whole reason why she wanted to be an exorcist was because of how she wanted to be like, you know, as strong like Rin, or as strong as she saw him as. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, so you know, and also because she went to the cram school was because of the fact that Rin saved her from the plant demon.
Yep.
So
And ever since then, she saved everybody else's life constantly.
yeah, and like her mom doesn't see
Things.
her mom doesn't see that Shammy has just been like coming into her own, and you know basically like whenever she's been saving herself and the X-Wires, and for various examples, which you'll probably all know, because if you haven't read, if you're just listening to this and you haven't actually read the manga, I don't know why you're here. So
I'm reading into the classes, actually. That's why I'm also quiet, is
Mhm.
because I'm reading into the classes, and I'm thinking that she could be a part of the virtues, or the principal. I can't even say words. Principal qualities, or whatever it's called.
Mhm.
The virtues. These are the angels of art and nature. So that's why I was thinking, oh, she's but the
Ooh.
other one is these are angels of peace, the
Mhm.
principalities. I can't say that. I don't English.
Principality.
So so virtues could fit perfectly. They take care of the earth to stem damage to the environment. So she most likely is part of the virtues of angel. That's the class that she most likely. And I'm not sure what that rank is exactly, because it could be a small dynamic of a angel, which comes back to the fact that she is part angel in a way.
Yeah.
Could also be
Right.
the Nephilim thing that we've mentioned before.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it's like, I'm pretty sure it's like, the thing is, Blue Exorcist doesn't seem to have a clarification between demons and angels. They consider them all the same class.
Yeah.
So
They're
it's
literally
like,
basically the same thing.
yeah. It's like, so you have Shemi Haza, so you have that whole situation there. They're considered what, emperors and stuff, which it puts them in class as being as high as the demon kings, but they're still not technically
like hierarchy.
Exactly. Yeah, they're not technically the same as the demon kings.
Yeah.
But they're definitely in rank.
Yep.
Like, they're some type of demon, I think, or it could be angel, since they're basically the same thing in Blue Exorcist world. Who knows? It's all classified the same.
Yeah.
So if they are opposite elements of what the demon kings are and stuff, then that would explain a lot.
Yes, that would.
Which would go back into what you're talking about, actually. If it works that way.
Yeah, because I know that Lucifer does like call someone a Nephilim. Like it just basically means like a mixed blood, I guess. Like in general.
Yeah.
Like like a half blood, like a half human, half demon, or not half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's what Rin is, but
yeah, half human, half demon is basically what it is.
But that's what Rin is
basically.
then.
Yeah, that's what Rin is.
Because demon is like just one of the terms.
It's like, and it's like there's lots. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's like, I'm not sure to what degree that term specifically applies to them. Whether you have to be a direct descendant or if it's like really long bloodline or not. I'm not exactly sure how that works. Rin is 100% definitely a Nephilim.
Well, yeah, that's definitely true. Oh yeah, he basically what I'm reading on the Offspring now, guys. Angels are able. I'm looking at this. Angels are also. Hold on. Okay, so angels are also able to have children through humans. Although this is very rare, this is because the union of angel and human is a divine taboo. Attempting or succeeding in having a child through human is ground for an angel to be cast out. So, what if she's just a
it's like, demons technically are fallen angels, isn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing with, you know,
biblically speaking. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I always forget that. Yeah, I don't know why
what Lucifer was. Well.
Yeah. From the Bible.
From the Bible.
From the Bible.
Fallen angels.
Yeah.
But not this Lucifer, not Blue Exorcist Lucifer.
So when it goes,
that's what I was saying. Is that, like, I mean, Kato just kind of like twist it a little bit. So
she does.
Yeah, it's like loosely, you know.
Yeah.
Loosely based on it, but honestly, there's a logic to her saying it's like picking the term Nephilim because technically demons are fallen angels is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like choosing that term. So that's where it becomes tricky trying to figure out if there's a difference.
Here's the thing, though. Kato established that there were only 2 worlds in the series. So there's Asya, which is, you know, obviously where the humans are, and then there's Gehenna, which is the demon world. So she hasn't, like, said there wasn't, like, a third world where, like, angels exist, like, established in the series. So,
exactly.
That's, I guess, kind of a bit confusing as to, I guess, where the Nephilim come from. Well, besides
Yeah.
Gehenna, but like,
Mhm.
yeah. But if there's
That's
another
why-
place like Gehenna where they come from.
That's why I usually go with if Satan counts as being like destruction and everything, that would make Shemi Haza the equivalent of the opposite, is why I
Yeah,
usually go with
exactly.
that, because it has to do with creation,
Yeah.
which would be the equivalent of the difference between Satan and God.
So I think that makes sense with Shiri
It'd be
because
the
she made like her forest and everything, and that was
Exactly.
apparently a big deal. So
so it's
That's
like if we're
actually making me. That's actually making me think of the fact. What was it? It's a story that was based on the creation of Earth, but it wasn't surrounding God. More or less, it was surrounding of a goddess, I believe. That I learned about back in school. But that's what it's kind of like. That's what the similarity is towards that goddess too. So that's what
Right.
that's
Like,
what's reminding me right now.
yeah.
Which
Like-
goddess?
I can't remember the name of the goddess. But it was this myth that I was taught in high school, and now I can't remember. But it's reminding me of
Yeah.
it, so I'm gonna look
And
it up really quick.
I think another important thing to note here is that Kato is taking from many types of, not just like Christianity and Buddhism, but also like other types of mythologies and religions in her work. So, yeah, so it's not like entirely like basing on the mythology of Christianity, but
Yeah.
So that's mostly what we're seeing in like
Yeah.
general. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it
That's
when it
why-
comes to like, oh, go ahead.
No, you got.
Oh, well, like
Sure.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say just it's mostly like with other characters that you'll see that they're kind of involved with like, Bon is obviously like Buddhist, and then I think
Oh yeah,
correct me if I'm
Shintoism.
wrong, but yeah, Shintoism for Izumo, and it's just a combination of like everything. And Shami seems to be more involved in like the Christianity side.
Yeah.
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 Definitely.
Oh, also like, I think this was mentioned like in several episodes, but also tying into the Garden of Armahara, which has been mentioned several times.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that'll come back.
I think that's gonna tie into Shami's character because that was something that she wanted to visit, because she would talk about with her grandmother all the time. So
I have a feeling it connects back to comes back to Shemi Haza and what's behind his door.
yeah, and it's like it's supposed to be the garden of all the plants in the world, and God gathered them there, and yeah, like.
I'm sure her grandma will come back into the picture too, because she was a big deal for Shami as a child. So.
Oh yeah, like she basically raised her. So. Well,
That'd be
according
funny.
to her.
So-
According to her.
According to
So
her
I found
memories.
I found the name. So the goddess's name is Gaia
Oh.
or Mother.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of figured it was that actually.
Was okay. So she represented the earth and was worshipped as the universal mother. In Greek mythology, I can't speak. She created the universe and gave birth to both the first race of gods, the Titans, and then the first human.
Ooh.
Oh.
So.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wouldn't it be funny? It would be kind of funny if you get back in the first chapter or third chapter where Shami's grandmother's talking about where God gathers all the plants.
Yep.
Turns out it's just Shemi Haza. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that might.
Because it's like they don't have it's like if they don't have an equivalent of God, that would be the closest thing you got.
Yeah.
Then it'd all leads back to demons and stuff, which I think is interesting. I'd actually prefer that because without drawing too, it's like it helps her. It's like flesh out her world how she wants to, without
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
feeling like she. It's like I know she mentioned in an interview where she was slightly worried about touching on certain subjects. Not because she's afraid of it, but because of it getting translated over in the U.S. and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I understand. It's like because some people are really weird.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, so it's like, I thought she's done a good job. It's like,
There's
so it's
like
like,
crazier stories about this kind of stuff out there, so I think she'll be okay.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I kind of like it seems like she's like, she picks what she likes about stuff, but then she's creating it's like her own vision for how it works in her world.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that.
Yeah. And it is just also just shows, I think this chapter in particular shows just how important Shiemi's character is. Like, how important she is to the plot, to the relationships of the other characters. Like, she is, like, a very central character to the series. Like, she's not just some side character. Like, it's...
Mm-hmm.
She is the important character.
You know.
Yeah.
I think whatever Rin will go into the whatever happens when Rin goes into the past and finds out, is gonna tie into maybe his, I guess maybe more okay, let me think of how to word this. It's gonna tie into his relationship with Shiemi, like, I guess probably more than he thought, you know, he would
Which also
watch their backgrounds be connected.
Yeah.
Which also reminds me of I'm gonna go back into the whole Rave Master thing. They did do a plot in the arc where they were going in the back 50 years and trying to figure out the whole reincarnation of Ellie, to find out that Ellie wasn't even reincarnated, but she survived 50 years and still looked the same.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was another thing I was looking into, but then I totally forgot it, like right then and there.
Okay, you know what this reminds me of, actually? Has anyone played The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword?
Yes.
Okay, so you know how Zelda's role in the game? Like, she's not a princess in that game, but like, she's, spoilers for who hasn't played Skyward Sword, and honestly, don't actually play it, just watch the cutscenes, because it's not the best Zelda game in terms of gameplay, but that's a different story. So, like, she's like this ordinary girl who is living on this like island in the sky, and she has a crush on Link and everything, and then she goes into this, she gets kidnapped into this world, and apparently she learns that she is a reincarnation of this goddess that created like the universe and things like that. And at one point in the game, she has to I guess go into a deep sleep in order to prevent like the bad guys from like coming back. So it kind of like Shiemi's role, whatever it is, reminds me of like Zelda in Skyward Sword. So
makes sense.
Yeah.
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 I'm staring at the one dude with the flowers in his hair.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
New
one
chapter.
really pretty guy.
Yeah.
The one dude with flowers in his hair?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Grigori dude, you mean?
Yeah.
The one really pretty guy.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of similar.
So that might
The
be
main
her. That might be her dad.
That's what I was wondering.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
Yeah.
if this fucker is her dad, he needs to stay away.
Yeah, like stay away from
stay
her.
far away
Stay away from my daughter.
You're fired. She's my child now. Go away.
I feel like this has been a whole Shammy discussion. Let's not forget to mention how Izuma was about to say, "You're my friend," and then she gets
I know.
interrupted.
Yeah.
Poor
rudely
thing.
interrupted.
I know.
Like, you're my like that. Like,
You know she's a tsundere when
yeah, that was such a
when
tsundere
she-
moment. Which was funny because I was talking with Grace yesterday about how much less of a tsundere Izuma has become. And
You thought.
I thought
maintain that side of her, honestly. Like,
yeah.
she handles it so well.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just like,
Definitely.
I think it shows how much her relationship with Shammy has grown since the beginning of the manga, because she cares for her a lot.
Yeah.
And even though she's like, she doesn't want to admit it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that Shammy cares for Izumo a lot, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mayamon showed the whole tsundere moment too. Don't forget that part too.
Oh yeah.
I hate you.
I hate you, brother.
That's the most human thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah.
On the topic of Maiman, I am all for him being scared to death of Shammy.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Bless that.
He's all like, he's gonna be all like, oh, it's gonna be all like, oh, you didn't tell me her, and then all of a sudden he comes back to seeing Shammy, and he's all like, so I'm kind of sorry, and then Shammy's all like, bitch, what? What's she talking about?
Yeah, I mean, Shammy's already shoved my mom. I can't wait for the day when she decides to bitch slap him.
Right.
I felt like she was so close to bitch slapping him when she like turned down Rin.
Yep. Well, she was like, stay away from my friends. That was close enough, I guess. Yeah.
Stay away from my friends while Rin is sulking Leisha.
This is a Maiman's karma. This is what he gets.
It really is.
Went after Shiemi Moriyama. Ha!
Mm-hmm.
What if Shammy's powers go into the point where she can turn evil into good? Oh.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Dang, that'd be neat.
And then she's all like, you know what? You're not gonna talk trash about me anymore. And then all of a sudden my mom becomes all like, yes, mistress.
She's gonna make a mime on her bitch.
Yeah.
God, that'd be great though.
Yeah.
They'd be all like, Mr. Shimmy, the flowers are speaking to me.
Oh my god.
She's gonna be like,
yes, am I am.
What do you
like,
mean?
yes,
He's the king of Earth. What do you
Yes,
mean?
she's gonna be the queen of
the
Earth.
Queen.
She's the queen. She's already a queen, but
No.
you know.
Mayamon is a little bitch right now, and so it's all like, yes, mistress, and you go like, a Mayamon, kiss my feet. Kiss my feet. Kiss my grassy feet. You know you want to touch me.
Her grassy feet.
It's like, this is what you get for mind controlling me with that Chuchi.
Oh, or another plot twist. Instead of her being some kind of goddess or some kind of angel, she could be like some nymph.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nymph.
Which, by the way, let's go back a little bit. So I'm pretty sure my mom knew what she was in the training camp arc. Otherwise, he wouldn't have like chosen her to like kidnap her and provoke Rin. You know?
Yeah, maybe he just didn't understand, like, because I feel like he's interpreting her as a threat. So maybe he just like didn't really understand what like her identity.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he knew, and it wasn't just like, well, he didn't know. He didn't know. Well, he was trying to figure it out.
To her for some reason.
He was trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's just like, it's just like, I love Mephisto's reaction. It's like, you know, he's like, now you're just figuring this out? Like, really?
He's such a jerk.
Yeah.
I love that panel where Mephisto's like, okay, he says, don't worry, the pieces have begun to fulfill their functions. And it's like, it's completely blank. And I'm like, I know Kato's going to, in the volume release, fix that. And we're going to see all the characters there.
Mm-hmm.
You can already tell.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because, like, because when you're doing this monthly, not everything gets added until, like, the official volume release.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Oh yeah, I'm looking at that page right now.
Wait, actually, let me take a look at that, actually.
It's just a bunch of panels with gradient on it.
Wait, hold on. Let me see.
Oh man, Okado. I'll never forget Yukio's
Oh, I just
unfinished
saw.
gun.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that's
I'll never
definitely going to be
forget
where
Yukio's
she's going to put
unfinished
all
gun.
the. She's definitely going to put all the XYs there because they're the pieces in his chess game.
I'm assuming she didn't have time to draw every character individually, so
Yeah, she'll fix it later.
I guess because of the time constraint, and also because she took a break for a month, so
A much well-deserved break.
yeah.
Yes.
So we just and also New House is he just comes in and says it is complete. What's complete?
It's just there.
I love how dramatic that was. He's like, it is complete.
But I don't care.
I want to know what it is that is complete. What is it? What?
So dramatic.
I mentioned this. I mentioned this in the when the spoilers came out, but and this is a very kind of, it's a little cracky, but at the same time not. But what was it that I said? I said something along the lines of what if he made a clone of Yuri or Shiro or something?
Oh gosh.
Are you, what? Huh.
That would be crazy and really mess with.
I mean,
yeah,
Shiro was already a clone, but
yeah.
A clone of a clone.
We don't know about
clone of a clone.
Clone of a clone. We don't know who or what Yuri is yet.
That's true.
I don't know nothing about her.
I mean, she could just be an innocent bystander, for all we know.
Right.
Yeah.
Or she's the real true meaning of forbidden love.
I don't think we're gonna go the anime route with her being in love with Satan.
I hope we don't.
Yeah, because that was...
mean, well, I don't think we're gonna pull the whole. They're not gonna pull the whole anime route with that, but there is the chance of it still being forbidden love in a way.
Well, I think it's more of Satan being fixated on her rather than him.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. I don't think she willingly gets pregnant.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. I
think I've never been under that impression either.
Yeah.
In all reality, but at least with it being us knowing that it's with the whole Satan thing, it's confirmed that it's his ego only sprouted 16 years ago. At least the plot line. It's I think Momo mentioned this on Twitter. At least it would be less. It's cringy, I guess, because it's him only being around for 16 years. It at least makes sense why he'd be infatuated with this random girl he met.
Yep.
Because he's experienced everything in life. Finally, he exists. So it's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thought of something. What if the twins were born 16 years ago, but what if Yuri wasn't exactly from this time set? What if she was the reason behind Satan becoming a fallen angel? And they came from the past.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that could be a good theory, but Yuri seems kind of normal, so I don't know.
She does seem pretty normal for the most part.
Yeah.
Granted, to be fair, we thought Shiro was normal, and then...
Yeah, we did.
True.
We really did.
I mean...
We really thought Shiro was normal.
She just likes making little paws. She's a little pottery lady.
I mean, not really in Shiro's case, in a sense, because we saw what he was like in the past, and he did not seem like a normal person, especially in the Kyoto arc, we saw how he stole the Coma sword, so...
Mm-hmm.
And, the way he was acting was definitely not, normal, so...
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fun thing about this is, with making theories is, if you're proven wrong, you're usually happy about it because Kato does it in such a way that's good. You're just cool.
I feel like most of the stuff that we've talked about here, like, whenever there's a new chapter out, I think we've all been proven wrong, and whatever we're talking about here, we'll probably get proven wrong again next chapter. But it's still fun to discuss.
I'm just glad that the Grigori thing was kind of proven right.
Oh yeah. That. Well,
I think
yes.
the Shiami stuff hasn't been proven wrong technically yet. I think a lot of the stuff with the Shemi Haza thing is very possible. I'm still really freaking excited about because I've been theorizing on that for freaking ever.
I don't think my theory for Yukio was wrong. I mean, like, with the point of where he shot Sir Phyllis. So it's just like...
Yeah. Well, he didn't actually shoot Mephisto. Someone else did. But we don't know who.
Well, what my theory was that I told Grace about was the point of he thinks he didn't shoot him, but he did. Thing where it's like a telekinesis, or pushing it as into like a portal where it's shooting directly at him, where he's not directly facing.
I mean,
that's what my theory.
I think he's kind of got a laser eye.
True. Do you think it was Satan that was controlling the bullet?
There is a chance, or it's like a hidden power that he had that was just barely unlocked.
I mean,
I do wonder who shot Mephisto still. I think about that occasionally.
Occasionally.
I'm not changing my mind. I think it was Yukio. I'm not... I'm feeling like... I feel like he has this sort of power because it's not uncommon for a demon to have a sort of... Well,
here's the thing. Once Mephisto was shot, the artificial Gehenna Gate lost the seal and opened. So it was obviously someone who wanted him to be able to, I guess, be vulnerable enough to not hold the seal on the gate any longer. So that's kind of why I would debunk your theory a little bit, because I'm pretty sure Yu-Gi-Oh had no idea about the Gehenna Gate.
Yeah, so. And that, and like immediately after they say, "Oh, there's a shooter," and then there's like a little panel where it's like there's like these action lines, and they kind of center around this person running away.
Oh yeah,
that too, which we did discuss in our first podcast. So.
Oh wow, that was a long time ago now at this point.
October. It's May. Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like.
Yep.
Yeah. But go ahead, theories are always fun, regardless.
Yeah. No.
It's like even.
I mean, it could be a possibility that it was Yukio, but even Shura said that it wasn't him. So.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out eventually. As long as Kato will like to drag this out for her, you know?
Yeah. However long she feels like it.
Yeah.
20 chapters later, this is who shot Mephisto in the head. There you go. It's like, finally, we know who you are.
Yeah. Yes, so, let's actually talk about... Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh, let's talk about Aegon for a second.
Oh my gosh.
So we finally are introduced to Aegon, who is the King of Water. And
he's the assistant director of the little ship.
And
he's also one of Katy Perry's backup dancers.
That's what he does in his free time. You know.
Oh my god. Yeah, because as mentioned, he is his host body is a small child wearing a shark suit.
Wow.
How very fitting.
I bet he looks food. Yeah, like I bet as cute as that looks, I bet he looks like he's rotting, which is why he's probably wears it.
Oh gosh.
Oh man. Yeah, we don't even know if
really shy, but
we don't even know if he's like an actual, like if he's possessing an actual child. So
Mm-hmm.
That poor
He might
child.
just like a shark suit.
Well, he's
Just
very
a shark
small.
suit.
He's very small, yes, definitely.
A shark suit that's like filled with water.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
Legit
protected
win.
water.
Sorry. Also, okay. I'll go back to Aiken in like a second, but also something interesting was mentioned here about Yukio. So he's given like this doctor suit. So apparently the explanation was his title is a visiting researcher because he didn't want to officially join the Illuminati. So
He doesn't want to commit.
he's like,
He doesn't
I'll think about it.
He's all like, he doesn't want to commit. It's like, hey, I want to have an open relationship. Duh.
Yeah, I think we should see other people.
And Lucifer's just like, but babe.
He's like, I just got
Sorry, Lucy.
I just got out of a relationship. I'm not really ready for that again.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So, you know, just visiting.
But yeah, so there was some introductions with Yukio and Lucifer in this chapter. Especially because, like, wait, hold on. Actually, let me look up the scene.
So,
really
like,
quick.
I can't get enough of the whole fish are friends, not food.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have some more shark jokes, and I'm gonna have so much more.
Yeah.
The jokes just. She just builds it.
Yeah,
Papa
so
just builds it, and it's just like, oh, I have to make a joke out of this.
yeah, so Lucifer mentioned something very interesting here because he shows his face and it's covered in burns. So he says he's weak. He because Yukio thinks of himself as weak, and that he said he wanted to be strong, and there he needs to understand his condition, like, and his brother needs to Ren needs to understand his condition, and I'm just like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by condition?
Their inheritance or something, I don't know.
I guess.
His eye. Whatever's up with his eye.
Yeah, but it's like,
basically.
but it's like Yukio has that, but not Rin.
Yeah.
I mean, even though Rin, I think.
I think regardless. Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, I think. That chapter when Kuihara breaks, like, Satan is speaking to Yukio, to Rin through Yukio, which is interesting, because
I'm just, while you're talking, I'm just staring at Yukio at the fact that he has a, one of those morning beard things.
Oh yeah. Also, everyone mentioned his scruff.
Oh my god, baby's growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's the one that's growing up, and then you have Rin who has a baby face.
Yeah.
He's like, Mom, it's all like, my face is so smooth.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he shaves. He's probably
just
getting
like, I have one chest hair.
He's probably getting he probably gets like the slightest bit of peach fuzz, and he's like, nope, he's shaving that off. Yeah. Which,
I can see that.
Yeah.
That one chest hair. See, I have a chest hair. I'm a man now.
I mean, honestly, I couldn't picture either of them with a beard or mustache, to be honest.
Neither can I.
Nah.
Yeah, so.
A bit bizarre looking.
Yeah. Which is, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, because they're literally, like, still 16.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they just turned 16, so.
They just turned 16.
Seeing them with facial hair would be weird. Kind of like it'd be weird seeing Bond without his facial hair.
Yeah. Right.
A clean-shaven Bond. I don't think I want to know what that looks like.
I know, right?
I'm gonna draw it.
Oh no.
I just want to know for like 2 seconds, then I'm gonna.
Well, I mean, Bond's already changed his look quite enough. I don't think we need any more changes for right now.
Oh no, he's good. He looks great right now.
Bon is my beautiful son.
You lift Yukio? Don't
Yeah.
get it.
Okay. Going back to A.
I didn't even wear my shirt today. Dang it.
So going back to A again. So, what do you think his role will be like in the future chapters?
I mean, Lucifer outranks him, I'm pretty sure, yeah. So
Yeah, he does.
it'll probably just be Lucifer telling
Yeah,
him
he'll
what to do.
probably. I think he'll just be his lackey, for
Yeah.
lack of a better
I
term.
feel like that he's gonna be all like, here, sit on my lap, son. I have a story to tell you. Yukio.
He's basically
And
like
he's all like, it'll be like, once upon a time, and then it goes
Mhm.
into the moment where Rin is like
Mhm.
in the past. And so like, there was a girl, and then there was a boy, and I'm just like,
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh my
let me-
gosh.
Yeah.
the joke, the badness.
Mhm.
It's all bad.
Once upon a time.
Yep.
Once upon a time.
It'd just be so funny if Lucifer like only made him assistant director and like just name only. He's like, well, Lucifer says that I'm the assistant director, so you gotta listen to what I say. And he's like,
I'm the
okay,
assistant.
And Lucifer's
my
like
God.
bouncing behind him, like, no.
I'm
That
the
makes me
assistant
think of
director.
Miro.
You gotta deal with it. Like,
You're making
So
me think of Milo. You're making me think of Milo from the Legend of Korra.
yep, that's what I was referencing.
I gotta commend Yukio in this chapter. He remembered what happened to Izumo, and he's just like, nope, you're not gonna test on me.
Yeah, no, don't test. Oh yeah. I forgot about that part. Actually, Lucifer's like, we should run some tests on you, and he's like, no.
Actually, I'm good.
Yeah, like,
He's like,
He's
screw
like-
you guys, no.
And he's like, I've seen zombies, and those were some pretty
I've
mega
seen some.
zombies. Like you,
I've
Thank you.
seen
I
some
want
real.
to die. I don't want you to turn me into a zombie where I can never die.
I've
Thank
seen
you very
some
much.
real shit, man.
I've seen some real shit.
Yep. I've seen some real
can't-
shit.
You can't make me do what you want me to do.
Mhm.
You're not the boss of me. It's my body. It's my choice.
But honestly, I thought that was pretty great when Yukio did that. Because
Mhm.
he's just like, no.
Nope.
Bitch.
Yeah.
You say what?
And then Lucifer, oh, I get it. You're weak. And then it's just like Yukio's face, what?
Wow.
Weak? It's like, really?
Like,
And then
bitch, what?
It's all like I'll. It's just like telling telling a 5-year-old. I'm like, okay, then you're a baby. That's understandable. No worries.
Yeah.
You don't need to go into your big boy panties.
But I loved it. They just like the weak reject everything around them to protect themselves. That is only natural. And Yukio's face is priceless. And Shima
Yeah.
laughing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Shima's just like, wow. Oh, also, like, at the beginning when Shima's just like, hey, teacher, and he's like, and Yukio's like, bitch, I'm not your teacher anymore.
You
That
called
was
me that one more time.
Call me teacher one more time! I swear to God, Shima.
You know what? I'm not your teacher anymore. Sure you are. We still have to see each other.
Yukio was gone an appropriate amount of time for me to actually enjoy his appearance.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was only gone for like 2 chapters, so.
But, I mean, as in, like,
Which, by the
the way
way,
it
3
was
months,
done,
right?
it felt like the appropriate time for him to pop up again.
yeah.
Mhm.
Which, by the way,
So
I thought
if-
he was gonna be gone for longer. But-
Same.
Yeah, but I guess we're getting some perspective from the Illuminati about what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think next chapter
It's just gonna be Rin.
will
basically.
mostly focus on Rin. If it focuses on the others, it'll just pop in there for like
Yeah.
a little teeny bit just to make sure it's like since the only
Like
thing
Konekomaru.
Yeah.
I say that is because the intertwining plot points.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Is
Mainly-
the only reason.
I think next chapter will
right.
mostly be Rin, but also a bit of Shiami.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
this chapter primarily, it's like the beginning was very heavy focusing on Shiami, so
Mhm.
focusing more on Rin and then having a little bit of the Shiami stuff and then a little bit of the Yukio stuff.
Yeah.
I think in all reality, we don't need a bunch of the Yukio stuff because we know a lot of what's going on there already.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
we only
we've had
got
it
like
for so long.
we only got like a few pages of Yukio, so
Yeah.
whereas like most of it was Shammy, so
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then Bond popping up in like a panel.
So okay, actually,
He
moving
had
on
one
to
panel.
yeah, he's like here.
Dude,
This is
But he looked great in that panel. I'm
did.
just
he
saying.
did. He did. He
Yeah.
did.
He is a handsome boy.
Oh yeah, and then
Mhm.
Arthur, he popped up.
Yeah.
That was great seeing him for
Yeah.
the little bit we saw him.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
missed him. I like Arthur now, and I don't know when that happened.
I like how
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Really?
I don't know when I started liking him, but I sure do like him.
Right?
Probably because he's
I like how they're. Oh, good.
probably because he's not that much of a douche as everyone thinks he is.
Yeah,
He's
he's
just
actually doing his
Out of
job.
the loop. He really is just out of the loop.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's
Really
doing
only-
his job, and he's doing a good job lately. Like, he's actually doing his
The
job.
anime portrays him more as like being an awful person. I still won't forgive him for cutting Rin's foot during the trial, which they cut
He
from,
literally
which
cut
they
it. Yeah,
cut
he
from
just
the anime,
slammed
which
down.
I'm really mad about.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mm.
he's portrayed. Yeah, I mean that's the one thing that kind of makes him like a jerk from the manga. Whereas like the anime, every scene he's in, he looks like a jerk. So
Yeah.
and acts like a jerk. And is a jerk, and also they imply some sort of weird romance between him and Shura for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never
Romantic
gonna back
attraction,
down
I
on
mean.
shipping Shura with Yukio. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I personally don't ship it, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like I ship it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that low in the garbage can right now. I ship it.
Yeah, as long as I'm not running Yu-Gi-Oh.
Honestly.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big ew. No
yeah,
thanks.
yeah. Yeah, but we'll not get into
I
that.
come from a family of 6 kids. No.
Yeah. I'm sure all of us have siblings, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we could say with certainty that yeah. So let's move on from
Yeah.
that. Actually,
I agree.
yeah. So where was I going? Yeah. So yeah, Arthur is not much of a jerk as everyone thinks he is. I don't think.
Mhm.
We haven't really seen him as much in the manga as he was in like the filler arc in the anime. So.
Mhm.
I'm sure he'll get his moments.
Mhm. And I think
You'll be a very beautiful angel.
he still has a disdain to Rin, which
Just because of he's he just hates demons in general, so that's just
but
kind
I
of like
think
how he
eventually he will warm up to Rin when he sees that
Oh, yeah.
Rin is not a bad, an evil demon. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think Arthur's gonna break down when he finds out he's a clone and all that stuff.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Oh, he's gonna
He's
lose
not
his
gonna-
yeah. Because I remember
Clone of Demon Kings.
Because I remember he like can't remember anything from a certain point in time. Like that was
Mhm.
mentioned like a few chapters ago.
Oh, what if she makes
Yeah.
the same thing?
No, I don't think
No.
I don't think she's
Wait.
a clone.
No,
What-
she's
what
definitely
she-
not a clone.
unless it takes place of them carrying on with Section 13 after it was closed down.
Yeah. Well,
That
here's the
is
thing.
the
I
ul-
think she was her birth is kind of tied into Section 13. I don't think it's clone related. I just think that it's like we've been discussing, like Nephilim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Kato pulls a Star Wars reference and saying, "I am your father," I'm gonna die.
On
It'll be like,
who?
"Hey, this is just 1 month later."
Well, I know you're talking about
Or-
Shammy, but like, who would be her father?
Yeah. If it has to tie down to the point where it does happen to be in that section,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
it's more or less going to be like, I don't know my father. My father died. And she's like, I am your father.
And
and
it's
he's
like, my mother
"No!"
told me that my father died. My mother told me that. I never knew him.
I never knew. He died and sat in my soul.
Yep.
It makes. Oh god.
But yeah. Anyway, so moving forward to the end of the chapter, so Rin goes through the doors, and you can see.
He sure did.
You
be
can see.
continued.
You can see at the bottom. You can see at the bottom of the panel. There's snow on the ground.
Which is actually what I found interesting, because this entire arc has been called Beyond the Snow. For like
exactly, and it's not just the fact that it's taking place in January. So
he's finally going beyond the snow. Seriously.
And into more snow.
Beyond the snow into more snow.
It took him a while.
Yep.
Maybe beyond that snow is trees. I don't know.
You mean maybe on the trees are snow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll find a place where there's no snow. And then he'll finally actually be beyond it.
Look beyond what you see.
Go beyond plus ultra.
I feel like I need to get some movie references ready for this chapter.
Yeah, so what do you guys think Rin will stumble upon in the past?
His mother.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Agony.
The creepy dude. Okay, I don't know if they're actually creepy. The smiling people that took Shiami away.
The Grigori.
I've noticed.
I'm just gonna call them the
every time
smiling
someone
people.
is smiling.
The flower dude. Let's call him Flower Dude.
Okay, the smiling
with the flower
dude.
power. The hippies. We'll call them the hippies. That's it.
Those are Shiami's worshippers, because they're all like, Shiami, hello.
Cause like you've grown so beautifully.
You're
Can
so
I kiss the bottom of your shoe?
You.
Our fandom, literally. Shiami, we love you.
Jimmy's queen.
I feel like the whole it's super super serious, and they're gonna and Kato's gonna have it. It's like where it's gonna throw us on the whole super serious moment, and then it's gonna do a comic relief.
Yep.
At the beginning of the chapter.
Oh, probably.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Also, do you guys think Rin will just be invisible, watching events unfold, or do you think he'll try and interfere?
Oh no, he's not gonna stay invisible. I can't. Maybe he will, like,
he's gonna jump in and be all like,
I can see him. Maybe he will stay, but I can see him at least being really tempted to reveal himself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Possibly.
It reminds me of another series that I read, but I forgot what the series is.
But I feel like it's one of those circumstances where if he does reveal himself to his mother, then his mother will like try and prevent his birth from happening, and then he won't exist anymore.
Like, why am I fading away?
Like you guys remember Back to the Future, right? Like when Marty's trying to get his parents together, and like he's like fading away from existence because like everything he tries to do doesn't.
Remember Back to the Future when his own mother falls in love with him?
Oh no! Let's not have a Marty McFly situation.
I'm trying to think. There's an actual.
Oh wait, not Marty.
Thing that I read.
Not a Marty McFly situation. Fuck. I was thinking of Back to the Future. Fry. That's what I meant to say. Let's not have a Fry situation.
Yeah.
Wait, there is a series. There is something that I read that I'm trying to remember.
Wait, I said Back to the Future. I meant Futurama. God damn it. It's late. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm trying to think of this series. Okay, I read this manga series a long time ago. And it was to the... That's it! It was Gaku and Alice. Okay, so Gaku and Alice, in this manga, which is based on like the whole going to school with the whole superpowers, and she has the power to nullify. Well, her father she never got to know her father because her father died before she was born. And so she went back in the past, and there was this ability in the past where she was able to get out of the whole time loop of like watching, and she was actually there. And she actually saw the moment before her father was killed. So, as you can see, that was the emotional part of making me think of what if Rin wants to try and interfere, but it's going to be that kind of moment. If you guys have not read Gaku and Alice, you're going to probably want to read it and then cry about it because it moves you. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what was in my head. I was like, okay, this reminds me of something. I don't know what it reminds me of. And you guys were talking about Futurama and
Back to the Future.
Yes. And I'm like, no, it was a manga. It was not an actual TV series. And Gaku and Alice, that part made me cry, okay? So she just like sat there. She yelled out "Papa," and then they grabbed her before he saw her, but he heard her. And it was like such a touching moment, but where I think he saw her for a glimpse second, and then he left or whatever. But I feel like he just saw that glimpse of a miniature of the person that he fell in love with. So,
yeah.
It was like that glimpse. Oh, no, I'm just like, it's thinking about this man.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know. So there's a possibility, I think, that Rin could actually watch Satan possess the host that he does in order to impregnate Yuri.
Oh, that's awkward.
I've kind of been thinking about that, like that happening,
and
him being terrified out of his mind. Like, not actually showing that happening, but just like showing his reaction as it's going on.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, Mephisto, can I go home now?
You're like,
I think I'm done.
wow.
I want to go home and die. Thank you. Bye.
Guess I'll die. Just, yeah. I think, however, whatever happens, he's probably gonna come back and not be okay. Like, he'll just like, he has to tell I feel like he'll have to tell someone what happened, what he saw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's how he finds out Shiami's gone.
Yeah, like, I feel like he's gonna, like, he'll just come back, he'll run into Izmo, and he'll tell her, he's like, shit, like, Izmo, I've seen some weird, I just went into the past and saw my mom, and then she's like, Shiami's gone. Maybe like, bitch, what? Yeah.
Rin typically confides in Shiami about things, so it was like Shiami. He also confides in Bon, but like typically when it came to the Yukio thing and a bunch of other stuff, it's like he typically, when it comes to family stuff, he confides in Shiami.
Oh yeah.
So when it comes down to that,
he'll probably ask where Shiami is. So he'll be like,
there's also the possibility of Shura.
Oh yeah, because we haven't seen Shura in a few chapters. Not since chapter 93, chapter 94, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I still typically think that
go ahead.
when Rin goes in the past, it's not going to be something where he's actually able to change anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Mephisto, it's like kind of like how the lab was kind of preserved, where even when you mess with things, it doesn't actually change the past.
Oh, yeah, because it's a separate timeline.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking it's going to be. So Rin can interact and everything, actually screwing anything up.
Oh, that reminds me of Once Upon a Time with the Wish Realm. Well, Serena would know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like an artificially made up timeline, I guess. Like, it's not the actual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's where you'd be able to get it's like I'd see him being able to get the information without actually messing anything up, which would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah.
I see Mephisto dummy proofing that for Rin.
Yep. Because, Rin is still a bit dense, so...
It's not his
He's just
fault.
be like, there's no way he can mess this up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean...
But, yeah.
Yeah. And, I think, does anyone else have any other, like, predictions about what's gonna happen with Rin?
No.
No? Okay.
I'm just scared.
Any other thoughts or anything like that about the chapter?
I love Rin and Shammy. That's not a thought on the chapter. But...
Yes, same. I will agree. Rinchi for life. Fight me IRL.
I'm gonna draw a bunch of fan art and cry. And next year for Rinchi Week, bonus day is totally being the day this chapter came out. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so that would be May 1st.
Yeah.
In Japan, but May 7th here. So.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So closing thoughts. Besides Rinchi.
Oh man, I wonder if we're gonna get 99.75 next month.
No, I think next time we are getting chapter 100.
I think so too.
Okay, so I'm gonna. All right, so I actually remembered what I was gonna announce. So I've been doing this campaign thing on Tumblr called 100 Chapters of Blue Exorcist, where people talk about briefly how they got into Blue Exorcist and how much the series means to them and whatnot. Well, just like any positive things, like how much Blue Exorcist has made an impact on your life. So, I was supposed to read some of them today in today's podcast, but since chapter 100 is not officially out until June, I hope, I pushed the deadline to June 1st. So if you want to do a submission and you haven't already, it's simple. Just go to just write a post on Tumblr, and use the tag 100 chaps of AOX. Please make your submission to at least no more than 2 paragraphs long, so I can get to a lot of people when I read them next month. And I will reblog your submission to my my Alano Trash Tumblr. I will not be reblogging into the Alano SquadCast Tumblr. If you prefer to submit it on Twitter, just tag me in a tweet and also use the hashtag 100 chaps of AOX, and you can do it there. So yeah. Yay. So, yeah, I think that's it. Unless anyone else has anything to say.
Nope.
Okay. Oh, actually, there was one thing I wanted to bring up. Because I was thinking about this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing like my voice in someone's mic. I'm not sure who it is.
Not mine.
Oh, it might be Seuss. I think it's yours.
Do you want me to mute for a second?
Yeah, just for a brief second. Alright, do you have headphones on? Oh.
Yes, I do. I
Oh.
do have headphones on,
Okay.
actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I
It just does that for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have headphones on also.
Oh, okay. Alright, so, yeah, I wanted to talk about this because I was thinking about this the other day, and, I made a poll on Twitter about this. So, I was thinking about how much, how far we've come in terms of, I guess, like, classifying Blue Exorcist as a shonen, which, in a lot of ways, it is a shonen. It does have tropes of a shonen and characters that are in shonen, and Rin does have traits of a shonen protagonist. But overall, would you say now that we are like in the now that we're approaching the 100th chapter, would you say that right now Blue Exorcist is a shonen, like, or would you classify it as something else?
I would say so, but I wouldn't like. I mean, if I had to describe someone like a typical shonen, I would Blue Exorcist. I just think it's like it's definitely like a shonen, just like kind of like an outlier of one. Like it's not the poster child of a shonen, but I think it's a good thing. But you know,
yeah,
I think a good way to classify it is similar to Fullmetal Alchemist, even though they're both shonen. They definitely defy the genre or it's like and tropes altogether. Both of them.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not sure.
Yeah, like they have a lot of they have like a lot of moments where it breaks from the typical shonen stereotypes, and especially Blue Exorcist. Like there's filler chapters, but none of the arcs have been filler. Like they have all been central in to developing the story and the characters.
Yeah, it all intertwines back together, which is that's where I find the similarities between Fullmetal Alchemist and Blue Exorcist, because everything pieces back together in the end.
Especially like the relationships between, like, you know, how similar Rin and Yor are to Edward and Alphonse. A little bit actually, but not like entirely, but there are similarities. And how similar maybe Edward and Winry's relationship is kind of to Rin and Shammi's. Maybe a little
close
bit.
enough.
Close enough, I guess. Yeah.
They're both well developed.
Yeah, I think in terms of development, it's about the same because they're both like slow burn relationships. So
and when it happens, it's definitely very natural the way they end up together and everything.
Yeah. So, Serena and Zeus, what do you guys think?
Well, I think I mentioned this on. Oh,
you did mention this on Twitter, but just for people who haven't seen it.
Oh yeah, well, like well, I didn't mention this. Well, I was saying it is shonen-y, but I'm feeling a lot of like seinen vibes, just
like
seinen. Yeah.
Shoujo.
Because, yeah, I'm feeling the seinen a lot. Not so much shoujo. It's just that there just happens to be romance in there. It doesn't necessarily make it a shoujo, in my opinion.
Yeah, true.
Because shoujos do tend to be very fluffy, like almost kind of like
in a lot of ways, well, it does have a lot of fluffy light moments, but overall the tone, like, there's been a dramatic
overall
shift.
Tone.
Thinking of the zombies, and I'm like,
Mephisto. Literally, this chapter is like the time of peace is over, basically.
Yeah, well, Mephisto actually said that.
Time is up.
Mephisto actually says that himself to my mind. He says, "You have
there it is.
Free
He said,
time.
Say goodbye to this temporary calm."
Yeah.
There it is.
Say goodbye to this temporary calm. Yeah. Go. But yeah, like, it did come off, and especially, I guess, the first chapter obviously is not light in the slightest, but like it did in the beginning have like this tone where it was like very comedic and lighthearted.
For me, that's just the comedy in itself. So that's why I can't really like classify it as a shoujo.
Yeah.
And for me, I do feel some shonen, and I do feel a lot of like the science, whatever that was pronounced.
Seinen.
I feel that one seinen. I'm feeling that one a lot more recently due to like all the mystery and how like I guess a lot more like mature in a way, not mature as in like gore and stuff like that, but almost just like in thought that just a lot mature. It's just been getting it's
definitely gotten a lot mature, and I'm still surprised that Viz still runs in a Shonen Jump. So
well, on the back of it, On the back of the volumes, it actually rates it higher than typical what they do for shonen.
Viz, you mean?
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, this does.
So in comparison to like My Hero Academia.
Yeah, I'll grab 2 volumes to do a comparison real quick. They do
Okay,
the ratings. Yeah. My Hero
genre
Academia
for
is rated
me-
teen versus Blue Exorcist, which is rated teen plus.
Ah.
They actually rated it higher for older teens.
Yeah. See, like the anime, I don't think has gotten as mature as the manga is. Like the manga,
Mhm.
it's definitely very censored compared to the manga. Like the manga has gotten like for example, you know, the foot chopping scene in the courtroom
Oh,
scene.
that still
Yeah.
makes me angry.
Rin's body like 2 chapters ago, he just kind of like
Yeah,
burned
like
out.
he burnt.
Yeah.
You could see like you could see literally his body, like his presumably dead body, like completely
Yeah.
burned.
Husk. It's like disturbing.
Yeah, so
You
it's
can
like
see the outlines of his skull.
yeah,
That was messed up.
Blue Exorcist is definitely a series that defies all of its tropes and even genres that it's in.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
always talked about it being body horror, the manga.
Yeah. Also,
Oh yeah.
yeah, exactly.
But-
Like there's a lot of like I think there is horror elements and incorporated into it. It's definitely not horror, like full
No.
horror. Well, it's supernatural horror, psychological horror.
I want to add into the whole psychological part too, because it does explain the whole the depression and then the psychological
like Yu-Gi-Oh's
issues
Yu-Gi-Oh's mental state.
with the mental issues, the insecurities of a character. Like,
Yeah.
for example, the moment when Ren was all like, "I should just die," and he
Yeah.
was feeling so insecure.
Mhm.
It just basically explains a whole bunch about the whole psychological
Yeah, exactly.
section of the series.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, like
Right.
it, and not compared with the whole shoujo, because it really isn't shoujo.
It
'cause I've
definitely
read too
isn't.
much
I mean,
shoujo.
the only thing
Oh.
that has a shoujo element is Rin and Shami's relationship.
It
Yeah.
actually gives me more of a vibe of the whole psychological, supernatural, a slight hint of horror,
Yeah.
romance,
Mhm.
and then even sci-fi jumps into this too.
Yes. Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
Kato, I think, she draws a lot of inspiration from sci-fi for her.
She loves sci-fi. We know she's like a sci-fi geek.
Yeah, like she loves.
You also,
She's a huge Walking Dead fan.
I
And
can
Star
tell.
Wars.
Star
Star Wars.
Wars. She loves.
Graham.
Yeah.
I can catch it's very clear her influence from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Her zombies,
Yep.
literal
Like
references to the series.
she draws mostly from Western media, so
Yeah,
Mhm.
which I
does.
think kind of makes her work stand out
yeah.
against
Yeah.
Exactly.
other
Mhm.
mangas and junk.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, she definitely. Her work stands out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh yeah.
I was just, it's like I just posted about it earlier on Twitter. I'm like, I realized since I caught up on Blue Exorcist, I have not fallen behind a chapter at all.
Oh,
Like,
same.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
same.
I've been up to date since 2012.
I've been up to date since 2013, so
it's like, so basically, it's like, and there's been a few other mangas that I've caught up with. It's like that I just dropped out from. It's like I just fell from actually keeping up with it, and it's just like Blue Exorcist is the only thing I've remained actually
yeah, same here.
Actively
I've remained
keeping up
pretty.
with.
This is like the fandom I've remained active in for like the last 6 years, so
Mm-hmm.
5 years actually.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've lost track. My mind keeps saying 3, but I don't actually know
ever
how.
since I finished watching the first season, so which got me into the series. Which I know a lot of people say that filler arc is shit, and I agree, but honestly, it does help that I did watch the anime, because without watching the anime, I probably wouldn't have gotten into the manga. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I feel because like I started reading it, like that was my first thing. I started reading it, and then I was impatient of like catching up, so I was like, I'll just watch the anime and like see if I can bypass reading some chapters. And then I like didn't like the anime ending, and I was like, I'm gonna go read the manga because I bet it was better.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason I actually watched the anime, and I think I explained this in our Q&A episode, was because, well, I originally saw the first 2 episodes in Japanese through my school's anime club, and I paid no attention to it for whatever reason. And then I got the idea to watch it again because when it was around the time the Sword Art Online English dub got announced, and the guy who voices Kirito voices Ren in the English dub, so I watched the English dub. So, yeah.
How I got into it was when I was pretty much into my other shows and stuff like that, and my brother decided he wanted to watch the Blue Exorcist anime, and so he started watching it, and he's like, yo, you need to watch this. You need to watch this. You'll totally like it. It's definitely your type of anime. And I'm like, he's not even updated to the manga. He chose not to read the manga, which I kind of slapped him to try and get him into.
I've been trying to get my best friend to read the manga. Like, giving her, like,
yeah.
I gave her, like, a slight hint of what happens to Rin. Like, I showed her a picture of him with his, the new hair color he has. And she's like, I hate it.
Brother too.
I don't like his hair color either.
That's what I told my brother too. I'm like, look, and he still hasn't gotten a chance into the manga. But yeah, he's the one who got me into these series. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll check it out. About a few weeks later, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna see how it goes, and I started watching it, and I'm like, wait, this is actually good. So I just like sat in my room all day long, and this was during a weekend, and I binge watched it all, and I'm like, this is so amazing. And then I'm like, I need more, and I started reading the manga, and I'm like, okay, so that was a filler. Okay, that's understandable. So I was like, bitch, what is going on with this ending?
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't how to compare is that with the Blue Exorcist anime, I don't feel like I'm gonna harshly criticize it compared to the Black Cat anime, because I read the manga series for Black Cat first before I watched the 13-episode anime, and the anime was like by far the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, usually in a lot of circumstances the manga proves to be better than the anime, so.
Well, they like pretty much destroyed Black Cat. So I don't feel like I have any type of terrible anime comparison but the Black Cat anime.
No, but the anime for Blue Exorcist isn't terrible. I think it's just the one filler arc I don't like. The rest of the anime is fine. I think people are a little too harsh on, like, the parts of the anime that are manga canon that they do cover. Because, I mean, it's not 100% following the manga, but it is following it to an extent, so.
My only complaint with the first anime in the canon episodes is the fact Shiami's face looks off. But that's just
no. Well, that's the one criticism I have of the anime. The first season is that some of the character animations were really inconsistent. Well, mainly Shiami's. So
there was a few episodes where really, really pretty and accurate, and then there's other episodes I'm just like, what did
whereas
you
in
do to my baby's face?
Whereas in Kyoto Saga, Shiami looks much better, so.
Yeah, the first anime, I always thought that it was kind of ugly looking, but then the Kyoto Saga, they really, like, buffed up their art style.
Yeah, which I do hope,
shiny.
I do hope there will be a third season of Blue Exorcist covering the Illuminati arc. I do hope the anime continues.
Take 6 years.
I do hope, let's hope it doesn't take 6 years. I do hope the anime continues, because there are...
Oh, go ahead.
I feel like what's happening now should be animated like at a certain point, I feel like it really like we need to see that animated.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm being selfish
do.
again. It's because I want to see Shiemi say she loves Rin.
me too, actually. That too.
Oh,
I want to see
I
Dance
felt
with
it.
Me. I want to see the I like tube scene.
I want to see Lewin. That's what I want.
Same.
Okay, yes, and Lewin.
Same.
What I'm scared about is that because I heard that he didn't show up in it. I doubt they would leave out that arc, but like at the same time, I just mistrust the anime just because they've betrayed me so many times that like
If
maybe,
they did
like,
the
who knows?
anime,
Yeah.
yeah, like who knows if they'll like kind of. I don't think they'll completely skip the festival arc, but I feel like if they did, they would skip at least part of it and like leave out Lewin. And if they did, I would lose my
unfortunately,
mind.
that might be the case, but we'll
To be
see what
fair,
happens.
To be fair, I think the anime, they usually don't leave out anything that the stage play doesn't leave out.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Then the stage play does not leave out the festival arc. It
No.
leaves it in. I can confirm that because I've now seen it.
Yay!
Nice.
So
Get
I have a feeling if they do that arc, it's like since it's short, it wouldn't hurt them to do that. And you actually, it's like, and if they skip over the mini, it's like the mystery of the school, it's that mystery of the school part. They have to leave in the festival part because it ties into Izumo's story.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if they skip
Yeah.
over anything, they have like they can't skip over that part specifically because it has to be in there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're getting the Dance with Me Shiemi scene regardless.
Yes. Let's
Because
hope
I
so.
just do feel like, because I do feel like the mystery arc is very important in terms of like characterization.
Oh, I agree.
Because
Yeah.
if we don't see Mephisto's like monologue, I'm gonna be so mad. Because
Oh yeah, that was a
like,
great scene. That
it's such a great scene because he like breaks the fourth wall and like it's just really interesting because I've never seen that in like in anime or manga like ever before where he like directly talks to the audience.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was a great scene. And if that isn't in the anime, or if that isn't in the hypothetical anime that might come out, maybe, possibly, I don't know. I'll be very sad.
Another thought. I have
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
You go ahead first.
Well, I was gonna say that like I hope that they show Ghetto in as well because he's very important.
Well,
in fact,
Yeah.
Godine, you mean? Or
yeah. Oh, not Ghetto in.
not pig face.
Not pig face. I had the good boy.
the purest boy.
Because he's like Rin's like first friend, and he just kind of
He's
represents
his only
that
normal
Rin is-
friend.
His first normal friend, not his first friend.
In terms of anime, now that it's confirmed Shiami's feelings, I feel like they'll do less of that bullcrap that they did where they're trying to. I noticed it a little bit in Kyoto Saga where they're trying to enforce a bigger love triangle than there actually is with Shiami and Izumo. For Rin, they were totally doing that, and it was annoying the snot out of me. But now that Shiami's feelings are confirmed, I feel like if they do a third season, they're going to emphasize on the Rin and Shiami moments more now that they have confirmation where it's headed.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think they were playing with that because they're like, oh, what's it going to be? Even though it was obvious, but
Yep.
I think they'll leave out less of their bias in there, which would be helpful.
Yeah.
I hate when the animes cause a ship war of stuff not actually a big deal in the manga.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think if anyone doesn't have any other comments to add, I think this is a good place to end. Okay, so does anyone want to do some promotions of any sorts before we do our closing remarks?
I'm good.
I can't think of anything.
Yeah, you got nothing going on.
Don't you have Blue Exorcist week coming up?
Oh yeah, Blue Exorcist week. Yeah, we had to change the date. I got a job, so me and my friend have to change the date. It will be sometime in the next few months. We are working on it. It will be up. Hopefully, we'll have it up for chapter 100.
Yay!
Is what we're aiming for, trying to
Mhm.
get it around that time.
Yep.
So, hope you guys look forward to that.
Yeah.
We will make an announcement.
Yep. Yeah. Anyone else?
I spoke to one of the people that I'm working with over in Yatatachi, about reviewing the new manga that Mashima. I can't even see his name because I'm so tired.
The manga fairy tale.
Mashima. I'm reviewing the new manga that he's setting out for June, and I will share that on my Twitter.
Yeah.
All right.
The link in the description for Serena Swinner. I am now a Twitch affiliate. So I've been streaming on Twitch about 3 to 4 times a week. So check my Twitter for when my next stream is. I mainly stream Nintendo stuff and occasionally Overwatch. So yeah, you should totally check that out if you're into watching people play video games all day. So yeah, and we will probably get back to doing live streams on Twitch at some point in the future. I think this month is a little bit crazy for me in terms of like family events going on and stuff, so I don't think we'll be able to do one in the next few weeks, but maybe sometime in June we will have the next one.
I'm a little busy on my end too because I've gone to LA, and I also have to start making the PDF because I am hosting a zine. I don't know how.
Like zine, like in magazine.
Yeah, I always say zine or zine, and I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
But it's focusing on Class 1B from My Hero Academia.
Yay!
So that's fun.
Nice.
Yeah, they're like the only class that haven't been noticed. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And so I'm gonna set up stuff for pre-orders.
Yay! Yeah. So, yeah, that's basically it. So besides like Serena's stuff and my stuff, nobody else really has anything. And Grace, nobody else really has anything to promote. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and let us know what you thought about the chapter in the comments, and also make sure to participate in the 100 chapters of AWEX campaign on Tumblr, on my Tumblr, which is trashorcist.tumblr.com. So yeah, you guys have until the first day of June to submit stuff for that. And until next time, thank you guys so much for watching, and take care. Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.